101 Facts about space. The Earth is not a perfect sphere, it is slightly flattened at the poles and bulges at the equator, making it an oblate spheroid. The universe is estimated to be around 13.8 billion years old. The temperature in space is extremely cold, hovering around -454.81 degrees Fahrenheit (-270 degrees Celsius). There is no air in space, so astronauts have to bring their own oxygen supply when they go on a space mission. The Earth is the fifth densest planet in the solar system, with an average density of about 5.5 grams per cc. The Earth is the only known planet in the universe that supports life. The Sun is the nearest star to Earth and is about 93 million miles (149.6 million kilometers) away from the planet. The Sun is about 4.6 billion years old and is expected to last for another 5 billion years before it runs out of fuel and becomes a red giant. The Sun is so massive that it makes up about 99.86% of the mass of the entire solar system. The Sun is not a solid object, it is made up of hot, glowing gases. The Moon is about 238,855 miles (384,400 kilometers) away from the Earth. The Moon is about 1/4 the size of the Earth and has a surface area of about 14.6 million square miles (37.9 million square kilometers). The Moon has no atmosphere, no water, and no life. The Moon's surface is covered in a layer of dust and rocks called the lunar regolith. There have been 6 manned missions to the Moon, the first was in 1969 and the most recent was in 1972. There are currently 8 planets in the solar system: Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. Pluto was considered a planet until 2006, when it was reclassified as a dwarf planet. The planets in the solar system are divided into 2 categories: the inner planets Mercury, Venus, Earth, and Mars, and the outer planets Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. The outer planets are also known as the gas giants because they are made up of gases and do not have solid surfaces. The solar system also contains several dwarf planets, comets, asteroids, and other small celestial bodies. The solar system is located in the Milky Way galaxy, which is a barred spiral galaxy. The Milky Way galaxy is estimated to be about 100,000 light-years in diameter and contains about 400 billion stars. The Milky Way is just one of billions of galaxies in the universe. A light-year is a unit of distance used to measure astronomical distances and is equal to about 5.88 trillion miles (9.46 trillion kilometers). The universe is expanding, and the rate of expansion is increasing over time. The Big Bang theory is the most widely accepted explanation for the origin of the universe. There are 3 types of galaxies: spiral, elliptical, and irregular. The Andromeda galaxy is the closest galaxy to the Milky Way and is about 2.537 million light-years away. The largest known galaxy is IC 1101, which is about 6 million light-years in diameter. The space between stars and galaxies is called the intergalactic medium. It is a vast, empty region of space that is filled with a thin, diffuse gas and dust. The space between the planets in our solar system is called the interplanetary medium. It is a region of space that is filled with small particles, including dust, ice, and rocks. The International Space Station is a habitable laboratory that orbits the Earth. It is the largest artificial satellite in orbit and can be seen with the naked eye from the Earth's surface. The ISS is a collaborative effort between 5 space agencies: NASA, Roscosmos, JAXA, ISRO, and ISA. The ISS is about 357 feet (109 meters) long and has a pressurized volume of about 32,333 cubic feet (916 cubic meters). The ISS orbits the Earth at an altitude of about 250 miles (400 kilometers) and completes an orbit every 92 minutes. There have been over 240 people from 19 different countries who have visited the ISS. The first human spaceflight took place on April 12, 1961, when Russian cosmonaut Yuri Gagarin became the first person to orbit the Earth. The United States sent the first astronauts to the Moon on the Apollo 11 mission in 1969. There have been 6 manned missions to the Moon, and the most recent was in 1972. The Moon's surface is covered in a layer of dust and rocks called the lunar regolith, which is made up of small particles of broken rock and glass. The Moon's surface is also dotted with impact craters, which were formed by asteroids and comets colliding with the Moon. The Moon has no atmosphere, so there is no weather or seasons on the lunar surface. The Moon's surface temperature can range from about -387 to 253 degrees Fahrenheit, -233 to 123 degrees Celsius depending on the time of day and location on the lunar surface. The Moon's surface is also exposed to intense solar radiation and cosmic radiation, which can be harmful to humans. The Moon has a very low gravity compared to the Earth, which is about 1/6 as strong. The Moon's weak gravity allows objects to move much more slowly on the lunar surface compared to the Earth. There are several theories about the origin of the Moon, including the giant impact theory, which suggests that the Moon was formed when a mass-sized object collided with the Earth. There are over 18,000 known asteroids in the solar system, and they are mostly located in the asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter. Asteroids are made up of a variety of materials, including rocks, metals, and ice. The largest known asteroid is Ceres, which is about 590 miles (940 kilometers) in diameter. Comets are small, icy celestial bodies that orbit the Sun. They are made up of water, dust, and other materials and are often referred to as dirty snowballs. When a comet gets close to the Sun, the heat causes the ice to evaporate, creating a glowing coma, a cloud of gas and dust around the comet's nucleus, the solid part of the comet. The tails of comets always point away from the Sun because they are pushed away by the solar wind, a flow of charged particles from the Sun. There are over 3,500 known exoplanets, which are planets that orbit stars other than the Sun. Exoplanets are typically much larger than Earth and are often located much closer to their parent stars than Earth is to the Sun. Many exoplanets are thought to be made up of gas and do not have solid surfaces like Earth. The first exoplanet was discovered in 1992, and since then, scientists have used a variety of techniques to detect exoplanets, including the transit method, radial velocity method, and microlensing. The search for exoplanets is driven by the possibility that some of them may be habitable and capable of supporting life. There are several theories about the formation of the solar system, including the solar nebula theory, which suggests that the Sun and planets formed from a cloud of gas and dust that collapsed under its own gravity. The solar system is thought to have formed about 4.6 billion years ago. The solar system is located in the Milky Way galaxy, which is a barred spiral galaxy. The Milky Way galaxy is estimated to be about 100,000 light-years in diameter and contains about 400 billion stars. The Milky Way is just one of billions of galaxies in the universe. A light-year is a unit of distance used to measure astronomical distances and is equal to about 5.88 trillion miles, 9.46 trillion kilometers. The universe is expanding, and the rate of expansion is increasing over time. The Big Bang Theory is the most widely accepted explanation for the origin of the universe. The universe is thought to be composed of about 4% ordinary matter, 26% dark matter, and 70% dark energy. Dark matter and dark energy are still largely mysterious and are not well understood by scientists. The Huygens probe, which was part of the Cassini mission, was the first spacecraft to land on a celestial body in the outer solar system when it touched down on the surface of Titan, a moon of Saturn, in 2005. There are several spacecraft currently exploring the solar system, including NASA's Curiosity rover, which is exploring the surface of Mars, and the New Horizons spacecraft, which conducted a flyby of Pluto in 2015. There are also several spacecraft that have left the solar system, including the Voyager 1 and 2 probes, which were launched in 1977 and are currently the most distant man-made objects from Earth. the first satellite, called Sputnik 1, was launched by the Soviet Union in 1957. There are currently over 2,000 active satellites in orbit around the Earth. Satellites are used for a variety of purposes, including communication, navigation, and scientific research. The International Space Station is a wearable laboratory that orbits the Earth. It is the largest artificial satellite in orbit and can be seen with the naked eye from the Earth's surface. The ISS is a collaborative effort between 5 space agencies: NASA, Roscosmos, JAXA, ISRO, and ISA. The ISS is about 357 feet (109 meters) long and has a pressurized volume of about 32,333 cubic feet (916 cubic meters). The ISS orbits the Earth at an altitude of about 250 miles (400 kilometers) and completes an orbit every 92 minutes. There have been over 240 people from 19 different countries who have visited the Moon. The first space telescope, called the Hubble Space Telescope, was launched into orbit in 1990. The Hubble Space Telescope has revolutionized our understanding of the universe and has allowed us to see some of the most distant and ancient objects in the universe. The Chandra X-ray Observatory is another space telescope that is specifically designed to observe X-rays from high-energy objects such as black holes and supernovae. The James Webb Space Telescope, set to launch in the late 2020s, will be the successor to the Hubble Space Telescope and will have even greater capabilities for observing the universe. There are several space agencies around the world, including NASA, United States, Roscosmos, Russia, JAXA, Japan, ISRO, Europe, and ISA, Canada. Space exploration is a costly endeavor, and many space missions are funded by government agencies or private companies. There are several private companies that are involved in space exploration, including SpaceX and Blue Origin, which are working on developing reusable rockets and spacecraft for commercial use. The use of reusable rockets and spacecraft is expected to significantly reduce the cost of space travel and make it more accessible to the general public. There have been several space tourism companies that have offered trips to the ISS for paying customers, including Space Adventures and Virgin Galactic. There are also several companies working on developing hotels in space, including the Gateway Foundation, which is planning to build a rotating space station that could accommodate paying guests. The first animal to be sent into space was a fruit fly, which was launched aboard a V-2 rocket in 1947. The first dogs to be sent into space were Laika, a stray dog from Moscow, and Belka and Strelka, who were launched aboard the Sputnik 5 spacecraft in 1960. The first human spaceflight took place on April 12, 1961, when Russian cosmonaut Yuri Gagarin became the first person to orbit the Earth. The United States sent the first astronauts to the Moon on the Apollo 11 mission in 1969. There have been 6 manned missions to the Moon, and the most recent was in 1972. There are currently 8 planets in the Solar System: Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. Pluto was considered a planet until 2006, when it was reclassified as a dwarf planet. The Solar System also contains several dwarf planets, comets, asteroids, and other small celestial bodies. The Solar System is located in the Milky Way galaxy, which is a barred spiral galaxy. The Milky Way galaxy is estimated to be about 100,000 light-years in diameter and contains about 400 billion stars.